are back at it again today. I want to try to get the outside of this freaking Volvo kind of cleaned up a little bit. As you can see, I got the weather stripping cleaned up for the doors and the trunk lid. So I want to try to get that put back in. I also have the notorious Volvo drains. You can see how easy it is for those things to kind of get messed up. There's even still some crud. Even after I clean these things out, there's still crud in them even now. So these things are bad. Looks like somebody tried to seal these to the hose, but it didn't hold. Once he fills up, it pushes the hose off and then it just leaks in the car. These go down in here in a hole right here underneath by the windshield. So that's where that goes. So yeah, those are they're probably still fine. Basically what you do is, these right here are kind of like a little baffle to keep noise down and keep like the gurgling sound out of your cabin when it's raining. But yeah, it's really not worth it, all the hassle with the water in the car. So basically you just go right above that last little cutout right there. You just kind of cut this off flat, even, and that should resolve the problem. So and that's for any of these cars that had this problem. That should resolve that issue. Anyway, I'm gonna set these aside for now and see if I can get this from hurting my forehead. It kind of hurts a little bit. I gotta move a couple of cars. I want to try to get this car out of the garage. There's a whole bunch of dirt and stuff on the ground underneath here that I want to try to get cleaned up. So I need to work on that. So I want to get this Volvo out of the garage for a little bit. Maybe get it up on some jack stands and get these fender liners out and get it cleaned out real good. Kind of spray up underneath it a little bit. Maybe put it on some jack stands and try to get some of this stuff cleaned out. So I'm going to move lessons learned and work truck. I'm going to get those things moved and get this weather stripping put back in. So let's see what happens. I'm going to take these hands. It's freezing cold out here today. So looks nice, but it's not but about 50, maybe 51 degrees. So yeah, pretty chilly. I'm trying to get over some sickness at the moment, but it's just one of them things. You got children, just kind of deal with it. I'm not sure which one's which on this. I don't know if this is the trunk lid. I don't know which one it is. This might be trunk lid. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Let's see what this one looks like. That's a little bump right here. So, God, it stinks in there. Still, it stinks. So basically, this is what I'm looking at right now. One thing my daughter pointed out the other day, see if you press on this, right here in this spot, see that? It's got like water underneath this sound deadening stuff or something. That stuff is kind of like glued down there, so I don't know how that's gonna go. It'll dry eventually, but things sure don't need to get wet again. That's for sure. Hang on, let's see what this like. So it looks like this will be the outside, this is the inside. Okay, back to this. My third Prozac today. I don't know what that medicine's got in it, man, but it hurt. It's like my stomach straight up hurt. Okay, put that up there. Drink wrap. Put this back under here. God, I gotta get me a toolbox. I sold my old Craftsman toolbox a couple years ago. It was just a cheapy one. I really wanted a nicer, better one. So I haven't really needed one until I got into doing these, rebuilding these cars and stuff. So now I need one again, and I'm on the lookout for one. I like Harbor Freight stuff. They got some copyright infringement, snap-on look-alike stuff that I want. So I want to try to find. Gotta figure out which one I want though. Just get one. Just gotta figure out what I want. One of them little tables, you know, that you can roll around, and put your tools on top of.
Strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf, I'm a lone wolf, I'm a lone wolf, I'm a lone wolf, I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, check this out. I got this is kind of how I organize a lot of my parts. I know a lot of people use plastic bags, and I've definitely started using that idea. So I've definitely using plastic bags, but what I'm finding out is I get a little lazy. So like these right here, for instance, you know, you can tell there's some fuses in there, some bolts, whatnot. But look, you see a flaw there? Nothing. 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 No, right here.
Nothing. So, do I know what those parts are? No, not really. So this is one thing I'm doing now, is I need to go back, put the last 6 of the VIN on there, along with a description of what's in here. Then your steering wheel parts. Here's the board. I'm still getting over a cold, so sorry about the sniffles and stuff today. This part of the clock spring plugs into in the column. There's a clock spring in here. It's all separate. I did actually mark that bag. The clock spring in there. I've got it taped up with masking tape, airbag, and then the 2 stalks. So you got that going. Right there's the airbag. Not sure what that module is. It was behind the glove box. That stuff I think I'm going to put back together. You can see the accelerator pedal. It's no good. It's got a lot of resistance on it. Anyways, I usually get these bags right here from Uline. There's some 24 by 30s, which are the bigger ones, and I think the other ones are a 20. I think these are a 20 by 30. You can get like a box of 750 of those bags for like 75 bucks or something, and they're 4 mil. You can get them thicker than that if you want. They've got riding space on them, and man, you could throw all kinds of stuff in there. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm about to put the steering column in here because I don't want it getting any worse corroded than it already is. So I'm gonna throw it in this bag. Then I've got other things over here that I took off yesterday. So the power window regulators / control boxes for each door. There's one of those on each regulator on each door. All that's going to go. All 4 of those can go in a bag. The horns can go in a bag. There's the support piece for the steering column. The door panels. After I get the trunk cleaned out of the car, after I get it disinfected and everything, then I'll disinfect these panels, and then I'll actually throw them back on the car. They're not hurting anything right now. Oh man, those not really a good way to keep those, but I'm gonna throw them in a bag by themselves. I'm gonna put this unit back together. I'm gonna put the blower motor back in it, all the pieces that we've taken off. I'm actually gonna put all this back together, that way it's all together. I'm gonna put as many screws as I can back in it. It's got some more modules over there I need to go in a bag. So yeah, got some stuff to do there. So get that done. Sunroof I'll probably wrap up in plastic, so that'll resolve that issue. Actually, I have painter's plastic right there. It's 0.31 mil, but I think if I lay out like a sheet of it big enough to wrap over, then I can take and tape it up and then shrink wrap it up with the plastic over the sunroof assembly. That should keep it protected from anything, any humidity or anything. So yeah, that's what's going on today. I'll get back on this in a little while. I've got to get the back tires off. There's actually some wires that go through that hole right there. Not sure if you can see if I'm pointing in the right direction. I still haven't bought a LCD backpack for this GoPro Hero, so this is an old Hero 3 Plus white, so I got to buy a touchback for it. I ain't got one for it yet, but I'll get one eventually. So through that hole, I think that's the ABS sensors for the rear wheels. I can't really I know there's a wiring harness that runs across the trailing arm, goes to the hub somewhere, but I can't see without taking the wheel off, so I'm going to jack up the back of this car, take the 2 back wheels off, and that way my daughter can start getting the rest of this wire out and up that way. So one thing that I want to do, one thing that I was researching this morning was I was looking at the ability to see if anyone had any videos or anything on bench testing all the electronics and wiring outside of the vehicle. I actually can't find anything. So I'm going to try my best to do a little bit better job of taking video of some of that. So once I get all the wiring out of the car, which it extends all the way up into the engine bay. I'm finding out last night there's not really a good plug near the firewall to unplug the harness from the inside of the car to the engine bay. It's all kind of connected as one. So I think it's all going to come out as one big hunk of wire, which is crazy. So whatever, that's just the way it is. So I'm going to get it all out. I'm going to repair, splice, solder, and heat shrink the couple of spots that doofus brain that had this car before tapped into. I'm going to repair all that. I'm going to clean up all the electronic modules, and I'm about to locate all those and get those put into a bag separately, like the CEM, the ECU, and the BCM. I'm going to get all that stuff bagged up and put into a separate bag, so that way I can take it in the house and lay it out, plug everything in, put a 12-volt battery, hook the car battery up to the terminals, distribution box, the whole nine. I'm gonna hook it all up, and I'm gonna bench test it on my floor in my house. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. So I don't have a cable yet, an AWD2. I don't have a DICE cable, a DICE. So if you don't know what that is, Google that, Volvo DICE, DICE. It works with the VIDA workshop manual software. So I've already got a VM with VIDA on it. VIDA, whatever, however you say it. VIDA, I'm sure it means something. So I've got that on a virtual server. Excuse me. It's the afternoon. Time for a nap, right? So I'm going to get an interface cable for that so I can connect to my laptop. And I'm going to connect that OBD2 connector to my laptop through the Vice device, connect it to Vita, and read it and see what works and see what don't work. That's basically what I'm going to do. I'm actually even going to take what I'm going to do here in a little while, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I've got to get everything. It hadn't rained the past few days, so I've been able to just kind of store everything on the side of the house because it's not going to get wet. But today I'm actually going through right now bagging up everything that doesn't need to get wet, so it can still be stored in like a plastic tote over on the side of the house for now. May need a couple of shelving units or something, or maybe a shelving unit in here in the garage, something to be able to store these parts. And then, bless me, I'm sorry, I've got this, my daughter got me sick earlier this week, and it gets shot and everything, so still getting over this crow. So once I get all the parts bagged up together, everywhere they should be, I can take it in the house, I can connect everything, and then just check VIDA, see what it looks like, so see how bad the damage is. I haven't been able to do a full-on test like that yet, so I want to see that, because I wanted to get all the wiring completed and put together before I did any of that. So I'm actually that's gonna be a pretty cool test. So I actually have a trash bag where I had started throwing away a few electronics I knew wouldn't be any good, like the amp with the Sirius XM module. It's really rough shape, really corroded, but I'm gonna drag it back out, and I'm just gonna connect it all and don't care. I mean, the thing is the CM, I mean, I could do a fresh software install. Basically if you get past all the fluff in the forums from people saying that you're going to have to ship off your modules and everything, get them programmed, whatnot, pretty sure my key's already no good, just from the shape it's in. I've got it taped up with electrical tape. It needs a battery at least, but I know the physical key itself, I know will unlock the doors, but I'm pretty sure that the transponder itself is probably wiped out by now. This thing, it's been grounded out so long that it had this thick of corrosion on one of the ground wires that's connected down here in the floor, the footwell with the back passenger. I mean, it had like this thick of corrosion growing on it, where it's just been damp and had battery on it for all that long. So I'm pretty sure the CM is going to have either corrupt software or 2, no software whatsoever. That's probably why nothing lights up. Number 1. Number 2, that's probably why windshield wipers go crazy and all that. It's because that software is no good. Pretty sure. So it needs a fresh install of software, and I can do that. It's fine, no big deal. But I want to try. I want to see what works. I want to see what don't work, and just see how bad it is. I mean, obviously, I'm looking for a parts car right now. There's one coming up for auction on Tuesday that I'm looking really hard at. It should go for really cheap salvage. It's got some major B and C pillar damage on it, and so but it's clean. It's a super clean car. I mean, I could tell from the photos. I mean, I knew what I was getting myself into with this car. When I looked at the pictures, I knew it was going to be rough, but I wanted to take on a challenge. Plus, it has clean title, so I was like, well, let's check it out, see what happens. Maybe drive it for a couple months, have a little fun with it, and if everything works out and I get all the little issues worked out and it doesn't smell like nastiness, then, you know, may put it up for sale or may keep it. I don't know. It's an all-wheel drive car, so it may be pretty fun to put a bigger turbo on it and see what it does. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Obviously, I want to buy and sell a few cars to make a little bit of revenue so we can work on lessons learned, because, I mean, that's a $30,000 project based on my estimate. So $30,000 is a lot of money, and I don't want to invest $30,000 into that car out of my pocket. I actually want to generate that revenue through rebuilding a few salvage cars, and maybe I can you know, get 10 or 15 of them done, and every time I generate a little bit of cash back into my fund account for lessons learned, then which is lessons learned if you don't know, I'll put a link up for it. It's a 2010 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor that I want to do twin turbos on. I want to do twin mirrored turbos on it. But I'm not sure if I want to pay that price yet, but I don't know, maybe Precision can hook me up with a mirrored set of turbos to put on it. That would be crazy, but that would be awesome. That would be my goal for sure. I could definitely take it to Cletus McFarland's Freedom Factory and maybe let Cletus rip it. You know, if I'm good with it and I think it's reliable enough, because he is definitely not easy on anything mechanical, so. But I think it'd be really cool if Cletus tried it out. That way he could see kind of what the other end of the spectrum of the Police Interceptor would do that they wound up not doing. They wound up doing a GT500 swap, engine swap on theirs, and they just put a brand new VMP performance blower on it, which is really cool, which I think is probably the perfect and best way to go with it. But I like the supercharger whine, but I like the turbo spool noise better than a supercharger. That's just me. It's my opinion. I like that noise better, and so I'd like to be able to take my Police Interceptor out on the street and hear turbos go crazy. So we'll see. It'll take a little while to generate that kind of revenue to get that up, but maybe some of these guys, I haven't reached out to anybody or nothing, but I think Precision would be one that I'd want to reach out to. Hi. What's up?
Can't open this.
Oh, just like Colton. Colton couldn't open it either. You gonna use the whole bottle like Colton did?
No. Don't use a whole bottle.
I think it's got like a kitty lock, so when you squeeze it, it unlocks the little latches. But you gotta squeeze the sides. Here you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Have fun. So, Precision would definitely be one, back to the story, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So basically I've got these chore lists set up for my children, both my children, so they make $1 for every chore they make. Well, she's cleaning our bathroom right now and make $1. I would think you'd make more money than that to do it, but you know, she's still, with all the chores that they have to do every day, they get $1 for each, no matter what. as long as they do them every day. They get about $5 a day. And for a 9-year-old and 11-year-old, that's a lot of money that they could generate. I mean, for the last 2 weeks, Chloe got, my daughter, she got like $82 in chore money. So they can potentially take chores from each other and share them amongst each other, potentially make a dang good chunk of change that I was very surprised that I had to put $82 in her account. And yes, my kids have checking accounts. Well, they have Bluebird, Amex, Bluebird, prepaid, whatever, debit card accounts. You know, they can't overdraw them or nothing. So they're in their own names. So they can check their balances on their app. They can buy things online. Because, you know, a lot of things nowadays you got to buy online. You can't just go to Walmart and get it. So they just get it that way. So anyways. But yeah, Precision would be one I want to reach out to and see if they would let me play around with a mirrored set. I don't know. We'll see. In the future, it's coming eventually. So I'm in Alabama, so I don't have a lot of restrictions that a lot of states have. So I can do just about whatever I want to do to it and still be street legal and not have to pass emissions test or nothing. So I'm lucky right now that I live in this time, that I live in Alabama and I don't have to have all that stuff. Sucks for other states because when I'm passing through, my vehicle's not inspected like other states do, like Texas and Louisiana, but it's going to be a cool car though. Pretty cool.